Today I want to speak to you about Attica, Taylor Hall, UWI Mona, and Dr. Ralph Gonzales, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In 1999, I was accepted to be a student at University of the West Indies Mona campus, and I was assigned to Taylor Hall. When I started, I was a part-time student, but my degree was in economics and therefore required me to be there full-time. So I did the first year part-time, and then the other years I had to actually go full-time because of the very nature of doing an economics statistics degree. And therefore it was substantially during the day I should say, starting from 9 o'clock to about 4 o'clock. So therefore it was difficult to actually pursue that degree while actually having a full-time job. And at the time, I was a math teacher at Vauxhall High School, and therefore it poses a substantial challenge, and therefore had to give up that job. No, I was assigned to, as I said before, I was assigned to Taylor Hall, but didn't have a dorm until having resigned my job, went to Taylor Hall to live. And I went to live in Attica, that's Block D, Taylor Hall. It was during my time there at University of the West Indies that I get to meet a number of persons, including some blind individual, one we call Optical, I'm not going to call his real name on the channel, and had a time of my life that I learned the most during my stay there on Taylor Hall. Get to meet a number of persons as well at Taylor Hall. But as an Attican, we normally would have a yearly banquet where all the past Atticans would come back on the hall and we sit down man to man, as we would actually say and actually talk. So this particular year, it was the first time I was actually meeting Dr. Ralph Gonzales, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And while he was Prime Minister, he came to our Attica annual man and man day. We normally refer to it as man and man. All right? They're not called men and men, man and man. So Dr. Gonzales and a number of lecturers at University of the West Indies who were Atticans came back, and we sat down there and we had one of those discussions that was the most informative discussions I've had in my life to date, where we dealt with issues such as politics, we dealt with issues relating to women, we dealt with issues relating to cheating, we dealt with issues relating to whole life, we dealt with issues relating to fun, we dealt with extreme issues of national, local, and individual issues, including issues relating to living on Tyrol as Atticans. And he, in addition to many other lecturers who were Atticans who lived on Attica, also came by. And for me, when I met the gentleman, which is Dr. Ralph Gonzales, he was such an humble gentleman that you could not believe a prime minister of a country. And I'm saying to you, he's still a prime minister. He was a sitting prime minister at the time when I was on Taylor Hall, Attica to be exact, Block D. And he would actually talk to us as men and tell us some of the challenges that we're going to be facing later on in life. He gave us some of the things that happened when he was on campus. He also, these are one of the things that we as young men at the time were doing, and he made us aware that, listen, some of these things is going to happen to you. You're going to see a girl, you're going to like a girl, you're going to want her, then possibly your roommate or somebody will want her. They'll take that girl away from you. You possibly take away another girl from somebody. It's a part of life. And he made us, man, understand. You use the term man, right? Not in English, but man. Understand what it means to be an individual and why we must be more concerned about the lived experience and ensuring that we get those degrees while we're on the campus. He articulated clearly with the other lecturers as well. And one particular lecturer was a professor at the time. And they made us aware of some of the challenges that we're going to be experiencing as men, and how we need to navigate those challenges and situations to ensure that we do not fall prey to systems and women and a fast life and deception, that we do not accomplish our purpose while we were at UWI. And they made it clear that our purpose was to get that degree. Our purpose is not to be having fun and frolic, going to women's rooms, spending all night with women, zeroing on a woman. They made us aware how conscious we ought to be in terms of having this balancing act, and made it clear as well that during their time, they had a number of fun too. Some of them did some things that, boy, you know, I remember Dr. Ralph Gonzales actually made us aware of a particular thing that he did while he was a man on Attica, Block D, Taylor Hall. And we smiled and we said to him, "Sir," of course we call him sir, because sitting prime minister, we said, "Sir, did you do that?" And he said, "Yes. I'm a man like you gentlemen." And that let me understand the importance of a male guiding another male into being a male. And I said to myself, males require males' guidance, because having lived through some experiences, when you go and speak to the younger generation about something, they'll understand. They not only see the flair and the fanciness and your position, but then they'll begin to understand what it means to be a male. And then you can let them see their dreams and not be caught up by situations and lose the essence of their being. Because let me say something to you, those who are listening to this video, that there were so many things to deceive us while we were on Taylor Hall living at UWI campus. I have seen so many things, and I've had the experience where friends of mine who came on the campus weren't friends before I went to the campus, but friends when I was on campus, friends when I lived on Taylor Hall, did not complete that degree. I remember, can't forget this gentleman. I'll call him Gentleman X at the moment. His name very well, but I want to call his name. He and I were doing an econ degree, and I left UWI many years after. Went there 1999, left there 2010. 2009, when I saw Gentleman X, he was still completing his first degree, and I was on the second year of my doctorate, which means I had completed my first degree, completed my master's. I was in the second year of my doctorate, and X was still completing his first degree. And he and I went on the university campus at the same time. We both lived on Taylor Hall, and he was struggling. He picked up smoking, marijuana smoking. He became a dreadlock, and he lost everything. He just could not cope after that. And I've seen other men who came there who spent substantial part of their time womanizing and did not get that degree. Possibly up to now, don't have that degree. When I sat down at the foot of Dr. Ralph Gonzales and other gentlemen from Attica, they grounded us as men and let us understand what it means to be a male. The purpose that you are here. And they reiterated the purpose and your dream, and that you should let nothing prevent you from accomplishing those dreams. Let us understand that we're going to see some nice girls that we're going to be crazy about, but you should not lose your focus. Nothing isn't wrong having sex with those girls. Nothing isn't wrong doing this. They let us understand all of that. But then they reiterate and emphasize that the value and the importance of being here is about the education, that degree, and not so much about that experience, that sexual, that fun experience. And all of us men on the hall, on Attica Block D, I think it's only one person did not complete UWI because he migrated, was my block brother and roommate. Anthony Woodbine. Love that gentleman. He allowed me to see life here. He gave me help when I was actually struggling to actually make ends meet. And he had gotten scholarship from the Ministry of Education. We tried to get the same scholarship, however, it did not work for me because I applied too late. And he was able to help me during those difficult times. He was the only person on that block, Block D, Attica at the time at UWI Mono, that did not complete UWI. All other persons completed. We had persons who were doing medicine. We had persons who were doing law. We had persons who were doing various things on the campus, including myself, who was doing econ. Of course, my roommate was doing math. Right? So I'm saying to you that we need guidance as males, because during our time in terms of living and going through certain experiences, we may be caught up in them so much that you only can be saved by another male who will show you the light. Dr. Ralph Gonzales, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was my light. And he let all of us understood the importance of work, the importance of dedication, the importance of balance, and how it is we use everything in life to make ourselves into better men, fathers, brothers, and accomplishing our goals and not being carried away by the frivolity of life because we are currently going through a process. Men need men to guide them through the process of living and being. Whereas we were grown by our mothers, many of us between 0 and 5, and we may take a simple approach because your mother sometimes take a simple approach in terms of growing you as a male, because she's a female. Not having a father can destroy a number of us boys and destroy many boys. When I met Ralph Gonzales at Attica, we sat down under the trees right in front of our block. It was an eye-opener for me, and one that let me understand and appreciate balance and the male's purpose and function in assisting to groom other great men. What do you have to say? Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decisions. Men are needed to groom other men.